The Las Vegas Raiders were able to squeak out a win against the Cleveland Browns yesterday, and I'm not loving the win, but I'm not hating it because we saw this running game finally get going, and we also saw this defense step up in key moments where we needed it. We also saw Gardner Minshew not really impress us again. We've made this argument all season long, and I'm not going to be a salty Raiders fan, but I will say this. There's some things you can take away from this, and I think that now the Raiders being back at 500, there's no cause for celebration yet. But I'm going to go ahead and say there are 4 takeaways that we came away, or 5 takeaways, excuse me, from the game against the Cleveland Browns. Number 1, the running game was the focus, and that's what we preached about all during the week was, hey, can this run game get going? Can we find a way to be creative with it and really largely take the pressure off of Gardner Minshew with a solid defense? And I think we did. I think that overall you were in a position where you either ran the ball or your offense didn't do anything. What was it? I think it was like 6 or 7 different ball carriers for the Raiders. I'm looking it up right now off the top of my head. But yeah, you had 7 different ball carriers, 6 really, that did anything aside from Gardner Minshew. That it really showed me the gravitas, or at least the creativity that Luke Getsy has. You had Alexander Madison 5 for 60, Zamir White 17 for 50, DJ Turner 1 for 18 and a touchdown. Also, Brock Bowers had a carry for 12 yards. Tyreek McAllister, who needs to get the ball more, 2 for 11. Trey Tucker his only carry was a 3-yard touchdown run. All he does is score touchdowns. At this point, we're in a position where your running game was the big focus, and you absolutely got it done against one of the better defenses of the NFL. And honestly, might be a thing of I thought that the Browns defense was supposed to be really good. It is good, but they were able to run the ball and basically do whatever they wanted with all the creativity, and you love to see it. So that's number 1, is the running game was the main focus. Number 2, we're still looking for that number 1 running back because, yes, I understand that Zamir White is quote-unquote the number 1 guy, but 17 carries, 50 yards, and that big fumble there that essentially let the Browns back into it wasn't great. And it made the defense have to make a Herculean effort to shut down any comeback by the Browns. And so I'm still looking for that number 1 running back. Maybe it is Alexander Madison. Maybe it's not, even though those two combined for 111 yards on 22 carries. 110. I'm terrible at math. 110 yards on 22 carries. So not horrible, but at the same time, we really need to see this offense continue to get it going with these running backs. And again, I don't know who is the clear-cut number 1 right now, but I will say that it is good to see the fact that we can still disperse it around and find things and find ways to get this thing still open for Gardner Minshew and make not all the pressure be on him. Number 3, the defense came to play. So aside from the fact that, Deshaun Watson threw a pick to Trayvon Moore, Deshaun Watson was garbage outside of that first drive. 24 for 32 at $176, a touchdown and a pick. He was pressured in that big-time sack by, I think it was Snowden and Kayvon Chason, who really put the game away. But your defense was putting pressure on him early and often. You pretty much shut down the run, and you also got him to turn over the ball. And so anytime that you can do all of those things, it really spells some good things for your defense. And I think that this was all without Max Crosby, by the way. This is the start of something that I think that, especially with what you consider for what it is and not having your best player on defense, 2 of them, arguably, in Malcolm Kuntz and Max Crosby, your 2 best edge rushers at the very least, this is something pretty special because you have all these guys that are finding roles in this team and making plays, and this defense came to play. There's no way around it. And I think that this could mean, hopefully, we're starting to see this defense play up to its potential. That was also with Jack Jones being benched, by the way. Number 4, Gardner Minshew still might not be it. And I don't say this with any dispersions. I think Gardner Minshew is a good guy. He's fun. He's funny. He's makes the game interesting, especially with his escapability and his personality. He's fantastic and all that stuff. But he still has yet to impress me. He doesn't have the it factor. We understand it. Not a lot of quarterbacks do. I'm not necessarily casting dispersions on him for that. My thing is the fact that 14 of 24 for 130 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Your running game was it. You literally, no play action. He missed DJ Turner there early in the game for that long deep ball. And it's just frustrating because it would be one thing if this offense wasn't talented. That would be it, right? And again, I think that there was reasons for that. I think Devontae was out, if I'm not mistaken. But you still have to find a way to win in this league. You still have to find a way to disperse the football and take deep shots and do different things. And Jakobi Meyers, I mean, he was pretty solid, 5 for 49. Also, Trey Tucker had 5 catches, 41 yards. Like, you didn't lose him the game, but at the same time, you made it exponentially harder for your running game, even though it was able to rise to the occasion and get the job done. Like, Gardner Minshew is not impressing me yet. I'm still calling for Aiden O'Connell to start, but subject for another day. We got to win. We'll be happy. And then finally, the fifth takeaway is the offensive line, specifically Kolton Miller, might be in trouble. So I know it's the Browns defense, and I know that it was Myles Garrett that did that to Kolton Miller, but Kolton Miller lost more battles than he won yesterday, which is rough because he's a very talented player. He's your franchise left tackle. I'll stand by that. Our best guy, went up against their best guy and lost a lot. Like, Myles Garrett is a stud. He's probably arguably the best edge rusher in the NFL right now, but we also pay you a lot of money to protect Gardner Minshew, and it's rough. It's absolutely rough. And this offensive line was able to get it done in the running game, but at the same time, Kolton Miller, we need to see more because we've seen him allow sacks now. We've seen him allow pressures, and it's getting a little bit worrisome. So I would like to see him button it up, and hopefully we can see some better things. And really, I know we said that was the final takeover. Takeover number 6 with an asterisk. Antonio Pierce coached the way he needed to, and that was with Jack Jones sitting out the first quarter and everything. You're establishing the running game and playing solid defense. That's what you do when you have 2 quarterbacks, or at least one quarterback in Gardner Minshew that is not going to wow you, but can still help you win football games. And so, hats off to Antonio Pierce for coaching a team to a win over the Cleveland Browns. That is another team also that is underperforming right now. But to be honest with you, I think this is a big win because it really shows that this team, the formula we've been talking about all along, can you play solid defense? Can you run the football? And can you just not turn the ball over? And that's exactly what we saw against the Cleveland Browns. But overall, let us know what you guys think about our key takeaways. Did we miss any? What did you guys think about the game? Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we'll see you in the next video.